Hey, Pittsburgh Dish listeners, Doug here. This week we're serving up a spotlight episode and kind of revisiting our summer recipe road trip yet again. When a really kind person that cooks from the heart comes into your life, it's nice to give them a little bit of shine. For me, that is Captain Coby Bailey of Lafayette, Louisiana. Coby is a Navy veteran, firefighter, husband, dad, and an amazing home cook. Coby has competed on season 4 of The Great American Recipe on PBS, and I'll just say he's done very well. Personally, we've connected through social media, talked on the phone a couple of times, and he was gracious enough to send me some of his Cajun seasoning. Let's give him a call and get his masterclass version of a traditional Cajun dish.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coby. How are you?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for taking some time to be on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, Coby, I'm calling for a couple reasons. Number one, I want to thank you for this amazing package of seasonings that you just recently sent me. You have been doing, I believe, a YouTube channel and kind of creating some of these spices for a while. Is that right?
I do. I have a YouTube channel called Captain Coby's Cajun Cooking. And what we do is I try to do a step-by-step kind of tutorial on how to make fantastic Cajun food.
Fantastic Cajun food. You are a lifelong guy from Louisiana. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Born and raised. I tell everybody I can only hide in Louisiana. I talk kind of bad, so if I had to hide out anywhere, I'd have to hide out over here in Louisiana.
Goodness. Well, I love it. Another thing that we have in common, I mean, a couple of things. We both love to cook. We also have both competed on The Great American Recipe on PBS. I was on season 3. You are being featured on season 4. How has that experience been for you?
That was truly an amazing experience for me. It's filled with sometimes when you watch it on TV, it kind of looks effortless. And I think the film crew, they do a great job with that.
That's right.
But It is a lot of pressure on you on there. But it's also exciting. I played sports all through high school and even outside of high school. So that competition, I'm very competitive. So it was, in a different way. I mean, you're competing against other people, but not, it's not rough and tough with it.
No.
But the great thing about this one is, and I'm sure y'all had the same thing. Man, we were such good friends on there. I would say, hey, you need some seasoning, come get some. If it's gonna help your dish, come get it. Even the film crew was like, we love The Great American Recipe. We love this program. Everybody, it's kind of nice. It's not so cutthroat.
That's right.
Nobody's yelling at you.
That's right. I don't want
There's
that
enough
either.
pressure as it is.
Yeah, everyone becomes kind of a mini family with that shared experience. I want to say a couple of things I really thought you brought forward was not only your family and your Cajun traditions, but really that tradition of service you've always had. You were a retired Navy veteran and then also a firefighter for well over, 25 years? Is that right?
It's been 27 years, actually.
Goodness, yeah.
I've been very fortunate in my life that I had a great group of friends that I hung around with in high school. We were a lot like family. And I think have your kids a good group of friends that they hang around with. It was important to me.
Yes.
And I had that exact same thing when I joined the Navy. I mean, those guys to me, they're like brothers. I feel if I was in a bind and my car wasn't working, Jim from Michigan would come down here and work on my car for me and go back home.
Yes.
I mean, that's just that kind of brotherhood that we have with each other. And even in the fire service, same thing. It's life and death with those guys. While you're in the fire, you depend on each other to do those things. And at the end, we go back, we have a good time, and we cook a lot at the station. So a lot of those things are all centered around food. Not so much in the Navy, even though you have to kind of go mess cranking, what they call mess. You got to do mess duty for 90 days.
Yes.
So I've been cooking in every aspect of my life.
I was going to say, I figured that food still brings all those good people together with you. I was wondering if could you share one of your recipes for our listeners today?
I would love to. And one thing I did when I got to the show, I wanted to make sure that when people think about Louisiana, they always think about gumbo and crawfish and jambalaya. So I wanted to make sure I made those things on the show to showcase what people have a general idea about Louisiana and kind of the right way to do it. You know, and there's a lot of spin-offs to jambalaya, and they put some crazy things in there. I would never, not never eat that, but I'm like, man, I don't know about that. But everybody has their spin. So what I would like to do for you today is just give you a good traditional Cajun gumbo.
All right.
Chicken and sausage gumbo.
That sounds perfect.
That is the most made gumbo down here in Louisiana. It's cheap. I did do a seafood gumbo on the show, but it's a little pricey when you start getting into seafood. We all know that, you know, kind of hurt the wallet a little bit. But chicken and sausage, fairly simple.
Okay.
You have to start out with a roux. All you need is equal parts. So if you're going to do, I'll always make 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, with 2 cups of coconut oil, and you can use whatever you like. I try to do the coconut oil. It just burns cleaner and hotter, a little bit faster. I like that. And what you're going to do when you're making that roux, you have to stir that continuously, and you want to get that just a little bit darker than peanut butter.
Oh, that's a good tone. I like this. I like cooking where I get a visual.
Just realize this: the darker your roux, the darker your gumbo. Okay, so if you go lighter, you're going to have a light gumbo. If you go a little bit darker, you'll have a darker gumbo. But a good rule of thumb is just a little bit darker than peanut butter. Now, you got to be careful. You got to stir this constantly so that you don't burn it. If you burn it, everything's going to taste burnt. So that's why you got to kind of stir constantly. Make sure your corners of your pot is getting stirred, you know, pulled up, all those things. You got to stay on that.
Okay.
What else you need to do is have your 2 onions and 1 bell pepper. I would cut that before I start my roux. And that way, when you get your roux to the color that you want, you turn it off and you dump your vegetables in there immediately.
Kind of helping to soften those veggies.
Oh, it's going to soften. It's going to soften them. But what it's going to do is going to stop that cooking process of that. And it won't get your roux darker and burn it.
That's a great tip.
Right. So once you get that done, you'll see it. It'll be cooking for another good 5, maybe 10 minutes. It'll still start cooking down those veggies. Okay. Then you can add you probably about, I would say, a gallon of water, and you stir that together. And you're gonna have to get that. You have to wait till that water starts boiling. Once the water's boiling, you can kind of let it go a little bit because it's gonna boil that roux out. But if you let that water set, or the roux set on the bottom, is going to burn on the bottom. So again, you constantly stirring that until that water starts boiling pretty hard.
Okay.
Once that's done, you have to let that boil for at least 1 hour, 1 hour minimum. The longer the better, but 1 hour minimum.
And right now we just have the roux, the water, and those veggies.
That's it.
Okay. Wow.
So while that's boiling, you need an hour. You're going to take your chicken and you're going to season it with preferably some Captain Coby's Cajun seasoning. But you got a good.
You know, we'll link to that. We'll remind folks of that link at the end. So yeah, we'll get the Cajun seasoning on it.
I like to put a little mustard. Mustard is a fantastic binder, and it is so flavorful. Yes. So you don't have to drown it in mustard. Get a good mustard on your chicken. Season it heavy with your Cajun seasoning, and you're going to put that in the oven for 1 hour.
Oh, okay.
So while your water's boiling, your chicken is also cooking in the oven for 1 hour.
All right.
And when you get to that 1 hour mark, you'll take your chicken out. And what happens is you'll brown that chicken. If you don't brown your chicken, you can put it in raw. It's not wrong to do it that way. But once you let that chicken cook for longer than an hour, then it just starts falling apart in your gumbo.
Yeah, and I think
or you can do boneless, skinless, however you like.
But that brown food, that roasty flavor too, would add something to the gumbo for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're gonna take your chicken, you're gonna put it in your water mixture with the roux. Your water and your roux together.
Okay.
Dump all that in there, and then you're gonna take all the grease that's left over from that chicken.
From the chicken.
You're gonna dump that in your gumbo too.
Oh, yes.
So, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, what's happening? But you need that chicken fat and that flavor that's going to bring some flavor into your gumbo.
Yes.
Okay. So while that's cooking, you go ahead and you get you a good smoked sausage, whichever kind that you like. The smokier, the better. And you chop that up and you put it in your gumbo and you let that cook for 1 hour. And then right at the end, you take your grease out.
Okay, like skim it
And
off
then
the
you
top,
taste
you
it.
mean? Yeah, you like
Skim your grease on the top. It's going to have a good little,
yeah,
maybe
little
like a
layer.
half inch of grease over the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Take that out. And then you taste your gumbo. You taste your gravy. You taste your juice. It's like a soup. This is made like a soup.
Yes.
And if you think you need more seasoning, well, then you just add you season it to taste from there.
Perfect.
Cook you some rice.
Yes.
And serve that over rice.
It sounds amazing. Coby, thank you so much. I want to make it for sure.
Anytime. Well, I tell you what, the first cold front that comes probably in October is when we get a cold front. It's only going to get to probably 57 degrees over here.
Yeah.
All the gumbo pots going to be rattling. Everybody's waiting for that one little cold spell to make a gumbo.
So good.
But
I love that.
Yeah, so that's usually how that goes. In fact, my wife made a gumbo a couple of weeks ago. She said, I'm just hungry for it.
Yeah.
Even though it's 109 degrees heat index over here.
You guys got the humidity down there, I'm sure.
Oh, it comes with it. Let me tell you, it's hot.
Coby, let's just remind folks again one more time. You have been competing on season 4 of The Great American Recipe on PBS. If folks have missed some of the season or they want to watch my season 3, they can always stream it on the PBS app. And they can also find you on YouTube at Captain Coby's Cajun Cooking. And then we were talking about that seasoning. If folks want to actually buy your Cajun seasoning, I think it's CaptainCoby's.com. Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
And a lot of people, there's so many different spellings of Coby. I am 54 years old. When I was a young kid, nobody was called Coby. It was such a unique name. I kind of didn't like it at first. I love it now, but since the fame of Kobe Bryant, there's a lot of Cobys out there. I'll spell it for y'all. It's Coby. So it's Captain Coby, Cajun Cooking. And same thing is CaptainCobys.com.
All right, perfect.
If you want to go to the website, and we have all kind of stuff. We have seasoning and pumpkin seeds and all kind of things.
I've had those pumpkin seeds, and they didn't last very long either. So thanks again.
They are pretty good, huh?
They are.
I'd like to tell your listeners, if you don't mind, that if you're having a little trouble, you're not quite sure on how to make the gumbo, I do a step-by-step how to make a roux. And I also do a step-by-step how to make the gumbo on my YouTube channel. So if you're not quite sure you want to follow it, we'll follow along. And I promise you'll have a fantastic gumbo.
Well, we will post links to that on our blog as well so people can find you and your step-by-steps.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, sounds perfect. Coby Bailey, I just want to say thank you once again for taking some time to be on the Pittsburgh Dish. Wishing you all the best. And again, thanks for all that Cajun cooking. So delicious.
I love it. And I hope to bring a little bit of Cajun culture up there to Pittsburgh where you at. I love it.
Well, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
If you enjoyed the show, consider buying us a coffee for this episode or supporting the show monthly. You can find links to those options at the bottom of our show description. And if you want to follow my own food adventures, you can find me on social media at Doug Cooking. That's our show for this week. Thanks again to all of our guests and contributors, and to Kevin Selecki of Carnegie Accordion Company for providing the music to our show. We'll be back again next week with another fresh episode. Stay tuned.